Oh yeah, sexy biscuits. Nice.
Long was 1975. Using words on the rise. Reviewing games late at night and sometimes friends used to bug. Long was 1975.
Welcome to another ZX Spectrum versus Commodore 64 video, as I like to call it, Playground Wars. In this video we'll be taking a look at the home ports of Buggy Boy on said systems. Now this video is actually a request by Malky34, I think that's how you pronounce your name, and he asked that I do a comparison video on this, and he's a die-hard Commodore 64 fan, so I might know why he picked this game. Now obviously originally this was a game released in the arcades in 1985 by Tatsumi. Well, dependent upon where you come from, because it was also released by Data Reese and Tato, and there was a sit-down cabinet that had 3 screens, you know, to make it sort of panoramic, and it wasn't hydraulic or anything like that, but it was a very impressive looking cab. And then there was just your standard upright cab that still had a back support and like a roll cage over the top of it. That was called Buggy Boy Jr. because of the lack of the screens. I don't know why, still essentially the same game. Those panoramic screens, like if you look at Pole Position 2, never really added much to the game anyway, if you ask me. And it's an off-road driving game where you're a beach buggy, hence buggy, and basically you have to, it's a slalom, avoid shit from finding your face, hit point flags, go through actual, you know, time flags and stuff like that, because time is your enemy, and race there are up to 5 stages basically. It was a pretty much well received and loved arcade machine, and it got the home port back in the day to all the usual suspects. Obviously the other 2 I'm going to play, but it also came out on the Atari ST, the Amiga and the Amstrad CPC. It was released by Elite in 1988, and if you know Spectrum, Amstrad, Commodore, stuff like that, I know all the usual suspects, but specifically the 8-bit systems United Kingdom, Elite were up there. But hell, for a while they were better than Ocean at doing absolutely bang on amazing arcade ports such as Space Harrier, Commando. They were the boys. Hey, now I've worked in both words, buggy and boy, at porting arcade machines home. Now this got average, well, 7s out of 10s and 70% basically, you know, in Crash your Sinclair and Sinclair using all the usual suspects. On the Commodore, it swept the board, but it's not that straightforward to do a comparison, and hopefully I can explain why. Right, so 128K, 48K uses both sides of the tape. This loads in at once, but that pretty much is the only sort of 128K bit you get, that music there. The sound effects are rather pans. Right, play. No, we're going to go on keys. Probably should do it on joystick for the interest of comparisons, but nah, I'm going to play on keys. It's my birthday, I'll cry if I want to. I do like this, look. Excuse me. Up, down, left, right, fire. Not change gear, fire. Ha! Cool. Right, I never played it back in the day, but I do remember looking at the screenshots and being blown away, because wait till you see the size of the sprites in this, and therein lies the problem. Right, off-road, north, east, west, south. Well, you know, a lot of effort went into naming of those tracks. We'll go with off-road on both of them. High score, 100. I think I can probably beat that. I shouldn't have said that out loud. Fire. I'm pretty sure that's 1 to 8-ish. I don't know. Right. Anyway, accelerate. It looks like I'm... Change gear. I'm a dog dragging his worm-infested ass along the carpet. But look at your sprite. Get those? More importantly, get those. Yeah, look at the size of the sprite. And the colour, and there's no attribute clash. This is something else. But the sprites are amazing. They're so big. This is graphically incredibly impressive. But that would be one of its faults, wouldn't it? That, therefore, the way it chugs along, is it because break? Oh, shiza. And even your explosion is in colour. Death by colour. Yeah, oh. Doesn't tell you what gear you're in. The way it, you know, chugs along, is it the colour that does it? It's not going to win any awards for, you know, speed. It's not, but it's not as bad as Outrun, I would say. And do I accept that because of how it looks? Hell yes. This looks fantastic. I mean, if you look up the original Buggy Boy arcade machine, oh look, it's speeding up now. It's not as slow as I thought. Is that a ramp? I don't know. I have no idea how I missed that. That's water, I think. Yeah, if you look at the original Buggy Boy arcade machine, you'll see that this sprite is really a good representation of it. Like, this is unbelievably impressive. That is too, on the outside there, that kind of pseudo 3D effect, because it's not sprites as such, it's one continuous effect. Well, it's still sprites. There's a ramp, it's Spectrum. I don't know why there are like gas lights on the middle of this desert or this off-road track. This isn't as slow as I remember it. I did use it in my technically impressive ZX Spectrum arcade conversions video, because this is very impressive. You've only got to look at the complete lack of going into a tunnel. Seems to slow me down massively. Complete lack of attribute clash. And like I said, the sprite is huge. Oh, right. So, is that a tally of my flags at right? On the track, you can see how far I've gone round. Is that a ramp? Yes! Don't land me on the wall! That's one of my big pet peeves, especially in real life. See, some of them though, I don't know how accurate it is compared to the arcade. I mean, because the arcade has massive sprites too, but... Yoink! Like, yeah, like, are some of these placements just... It's not going to happen? Do you know what? I always forget until I play these games. I can steer in the air. Wow, this buggy's ahead of its time. Oh! Yeah. Does that mean lap? Have I got to do? I've just got to keep going round. Well, you know, the wheels on the bus and all that shit. But yeah, I always forget how impressive this port is. This is going to make this comparison video very boom. No, not boom. Interesting. Why are we in kilometres? We should be in miles. I'm British. But my time is next to slow down again. Again, he looks like a dog with a worm-infested ass dragging it along the carpet. Time is left of all the flags I got. How much does it replenish it by? It didn't seem to replenish it by piss all then. I was in the wrong gear. That's my fault. So, maybe it's not as slow as I think it is because I'm in the wrong gear a lot. I don't know where the gear is. Ah! I don't understand why my buggy is that fragile. Is that fragile in every version? Hey, would it be nice if there was like a Mega Drive or PC Engine port of this? I wonder why it wasn't. Maybe it wasn't that successful in the arcade. I always think that he's going to land me on top of something there. Look, he goes at an alright rate. Yoink! Don't land me in the drink. Ooh! Where exactly am I supposed to... Ah. Some sort of memorization of track may be in order. Game over. Do you know what? Massive sprite. Great colour, at least in the sprites itself. Very impressive. There's no attribute clash. Once you get going, it's not as slow as I remember. I mean, it's not as fast as stuff like Chase HQ and, you know, and stuff like that. But that's impressive. Plays nice. Track is a little tight, but we'll see, you know, how that compares to the Commodore. But I'm guessing it was like that in the arcade. I've never played the arcade. I'll have to see if I have it in MAME. Anyway, let's have a look at the Commodore 64 version. So here we go, Buggy Boy on the Commodore 64. As you can see on this version, it says Taito Corporation 1987, developed by Tatsumi. So like I said, Tatsumi made the game. Data East and Taito distributed, I guess, outside of Japan. This is also ported by Elite, and as I also previously said, this got really, really good reviews on the Commodore 64 and is held in really high regard. And basically, this is, I'm saying this now, but hopefully I'll be able to explain why. Again, is still, you know, not that straightforward, but this is basically the faster, more playable game. Would I say it's better looking? Obviously it's got better colour, you would expect that, but yeah, it's definitely faster, definitely more playable. But it's a weird thing to compare them because they both play to the system's strengths, and while they are both ports of the same arcade machine, how the final version is delivered on the different systems is, well, entirely different. Right, let's get into it. Right, so you got your tracks. I'm going to go with off-road. No, I'm not. Yeah, yes I am. No, so you got all of them. Oh, that's awkward. Playing this on a joystick. Get up there. Thank you. Select your course by moving the joystick up or down, then press fire to start. Shift. Right. So there's no sound effects, there's just music, which I would have preferred sound effects. Have I got... Oh, it's up, isn't it? Oh no, sorry, it's just sound effects, not music. My bad. Which, to be perfectly honest, for a driving game, is what you want. Right, now right off the bat, look how silky smooth. Oh, change gear. Silky smooth it is. It's unbelievably smooth. It's nice graphics, but like I said, it's difficult. I don't blow up in this one. It's difficult. Change down to compare. That's the road scrolling effect is fantastic, but it's difficult to compare to the Spectrum because of the fact that this is so small in comparison and that's so big. Did they shoot them? Bollocks. Shoot them. Break, Dave. Not bollocks. Break. Shoot themselves in the foot by making the sprites that big on the Spectrum, or was that the only way they could do it? Or were they being overly ambitious? I'm pretty sure the same people did both versions. Oh shit! Have I seen a time? Change up. A time flag, or they all just points? Oh, there's a time flag. Where is my time? Screen out's the same. Oh, what's the drink? Screen out's the same. Wrap top left, flags top right. It's all exactly the same. I do like it when they do that. Oh. And I'm out of time. This might be a tad more tits frisky, but yeah, it's quicker, it scrolls better, you know, does it look better? Well, this is where I'm torn, and not just because I'm a Spectrum fanboy. I mean, you've got to say with the Spectrum version, because of the size of the sprites, and it chugs in comparison. If you play it by itself by its own merits, it is not as slow as people suggest. As you can see, it takes a bit of time to get up to speed, which of course it also does in this. I mean, this dumps all over the original Outrun, which I guess was its main competitor on the Commodore 64 at the time. You know, that big Christmas. Change out. I think I should just worry about time, shouldn't I? Oh! Ouch. This is tricky. Spectrum version is easier. Right. I know there's a time flag there, but there's another one on the right. Coming up. This is really impressive. There's no denying. This is possibly one of the best fakes, is that the correct descriptive term? Fake sprite scalers on the system. Yay, you got jumps as well. But like I said, it's... Ooh, did I not go? It's difficult to compare them because they're chalk and cheese in the way they look. I mean, they are the same game, but they're not the same game, if that makes sense. This is a really weird comparison to do. This one shows me... Oh, I just worked out. It did show me what gear I was in. I was nowhere near the fence. Did I pass? I don't know. Yeah, this one shows you what gear it is, and I just worked out it did in the Spectrum. No, I died. We might have to have a look at another track. Spectrum version is far easier. Far easier. We'll have a look at another track. But yeah, this is smooth. This is damn smooth. Is this when you have to face other buggies? Screw it, I'm having a look at this one because maybe it's easier and I can get some more, you know, raceage in. But yeah, this is easily one of the best driving games on the Commodore. If you know or better, and I'm talking rubbish, then by all means let me know. Oh, there's another buggy! See, now it's not really a fair comparison. Look, at least I didn't go in the... Oh, I did! Right, working out your gears, even what's on the screen, is a bit awkward. I think I worked out why I didn't go that fast because I was ballsing up my shifting. I'm doing a side wheelie. Yeah, would the Spectrum just go to a complete halt with another buggy? Oh well, it's too late. I was only going to do the first level anyway, but I think it'll pretty much show the weakness of the system. Oh, can you hear me not concentrating properly? Right, I'm going to round up. Basically, on paper, yeah, well no, this is, I don't want to sound like a Spectrum fanboy, but this is the better system, better game, sorry, because Commodore's not a better system than Spectrum. This is, I know! No! Oh, referee! But yeah, this is the better version due to the fact that it goes so fast and it's so smooth, but it certainly is a lot harder. But the thing is, I don't like the small car. I don't want to sound like the Spectrum fanboy creeping in. I love the fact that on the Spectrum they've made the sprite. The sprite looks far more like the arcade than this. You know, you could argue, you know, a stationary, which one bears a stronger resemblance to the arcade? It's the Spectrum. Spectrum technically is better graphics when it comes to the sprites, but graphics don't mean anything when the pace of the game, or the way, you know, how smooth it is when you drive it, is just, they're just incomparable. It's not by any means incredibly slow and unplayable. It's certainly not as slow as people paint it to be, including me the first time I ever played it a few years ago. It is more than adequate. It just, the Commodore 64 version leaves it for dust. That's a really bad analogy, but you know what I mean. Well, pardon, sorry. It leaves it for dust in that department. But yeah, I'll say it, Commodore 64 version is better. Is it way better? I guess it's what you want, isn't it? Do you want a spiritual imagining of the arcade, which would be this? Because let's be honest, it doesn't look like the arcade. Or do you want one that plays a lot slower, but looks a lot more like the arcade? You could argue it's a more accurate port of the arcade. This was a really, really difficult one to suggest, to compare. Maybe that's why Malky34 suggested it, but I do thank him very much for suggesting it. And as always, I'd love to know what you think. Did you play this in the arcade, the Amiga, the Atari ST, the Amstrad, this version, or the Spectrum version? Which did you prefer, or did you hate? All of them. And as always, thank you very much for watching. And if anyone else has a suggestion and I can do it, please, well, suggest. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later.